Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. For an incredible range of products to take your streams to the next level, head over to the Elgato website. The link is in the description below. It's that time again.
What do you say when there are no words? Feel a song that's never been heard. How do you know when you hear the call? What do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, 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 cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging day? And when your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you use it. You be you and I'll be me. It's just a matter of style. You can't fake it. Mile after mile, feeling free. If you got the soul, you can make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon, morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. This is the Apex Online Racing F1 2018 Hype Energy round number 3 for season 16 here in China. My name is King-Kodiak, and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Joining me in the commentary box, I am always happy to say, is my faithful companion, Mr. Hamish Sopwith.
Yes, good evening, everybody. What an exciting qualifying session we should have. It's a full grid. The full 20 drivers have decided to turn up. We also have a reserve driver in, which is Vito. He is in the Toro, so this should be a very exciting qualifying. Expect to see times a sub 129.4. Now, any time under 29.4 is very impressive, believe you me.
Right then, before we get on to the action, let's have a few facts about this particular circuit. So then, season 16, round number 3, it is at Shanghai International Circuit, one of Helmut Tilke's finest. There it is, comprised of a series of long straights, including the longest of any F1 circuit, plus 270-degree corners, notoriously difficult on the tyres. What can you tell us, Mr. Hamish?
Well, this track, Matt Sorensen's currently going down about 1.4 kilometre back straight. With DRS assistance, that will provide some overtaking into that heavy braking hairpin of turn 14. When the drivers line up on the grid, it's only 265 metres to turn 1, which is ironically is identical to Bahrain, with a fairly medium 56% full throttle for the lap. So you want some high downforce to allow you to go as fast as you can through the high-speed corners, but you don't want to go too high, but it affects you down that long back straight. Donoso as well, he set a 131.3 last season. As one of the current drivers, is he going to be competitive for pole? We are yet to see. Most of the drivers are out on ultra soft tyres, although I have a feeling that they're not a great race tyre, Kodiak.
No, that seems to be the general consensus, although there's always wiggle room for the strange strategy, and there is the tyre allocation: medium, soft and ultra soft. No super soft available for the particular race. The ultras are not going to last more than a handful of laps, half a dozen at absolute best, and they are screaming by that kind of time. People are going to be running these softs and mediums primarily, looking at previous performances and speaking to our previous competitors. And there it is, our pole time last time out, 1:31.308 by Fabrizio Donoso. We were already seeing times in the 29s. Timo Marduk on our Oceanic side got a 1:29.6, I believe it was, for their pole time, and as Hamish mentioned, we've seen 29.4 or sub that. So we are in for some fantastic racing at this particular circuit. It was part of the esports qualifiers for this year, and I had great fun commentating on our esports hopefuls and veterans coming through that particular series. So, on to qualifying then. Let us get down to trackside. 14 minutes remain on the session, and just as I switch over to that, we've got some times coming onto the board. Fabulous. Matt Sorensen, 29.6, boom, straight in there. Nicely done.
Yeah, interesting. He did that on the ultra soft compound tyres. Now, we've been told from our sources that the ultra softs are such a bad race tyre, we should see drivers trying to qualify on the soft compound tyres. You've got Marek, who's just at a time of the medium tyres, 32.4. That's not really going to challenge anyone at the moment, but potentially, if that can put him around P13, something like that, then potentially that's a good idea. Although, really, to be honest, if you're on an alternate tyre, you really do want to be making sure that you've qualified that tyre within the top 10.
Indeed. Now, just a quick thing. Number 7, or position 17, Mr. White Lilac, Manuel Bianca, he unfortunately has had to retire from the session because he earned a qualifying ban from last race. That is why he's retired. He hasn't put it in the wall. That is just to ensure he does not get onto qualifying. So let's have a quick rundown where we currently stand with just under 30 minutes to go. Our current pole man is the Force India of Matt Sorensen, 129.6. Then it is Formula Danny, our season 14 champion in the Mercedes. He's just coming around that long last term, but it looks like he's pressing on, so he may well be doing 2 laps. Exactly as Hayden was saying, those ultra softs are not favoured race tyres. Even if they just burn them to nothing and pit within a lap, then that pretty much concedes them to a 2-stop strategy, because I don't think the mediums would do an entire, a 50% race distance as we do here. Let's just watch Formula Danny. Does he come in? No, he is actually pushing on for another time lap. 1:30.8 was his banker lap. Does he improve? Let us see. The line is quite a way down, and he did.
No, it's a 30.8. In fact, no, he just didn't improve. He got a 31.3.
Oh, interesting.
A pretty poor lap time, and in fact, I can now tell you, Formula Danny is doing race stints. He's got 24 litres of fuel on board. So that explains his slow lap time.
Wow.
We have just got Alvaro Caraton.
Oh,
he's
yes.
just south 130.1 on those soft tyres. He'll be coming in at the end of this particular lap as well. In fact, he's already in.
He's already in, yes. VP Marek in the house, 131.704. Oh, that's close, just 4 tenths of a second between himself and his teammate Mark 313 in the 6th position, 132.139. Tino has put a banker lap on the board on 133 rather, 583. Then ACR Woodford, or ACR Nobody, is actually going back out on track in the Toro Rosso. He is 8th with a 134.0. And Vlasi Photon, 134.254, is the only other person to have set a time at the moment. Several people out on track. We have got a full grid this evening, which is a lovely, lovely to see. Even though we do have, as I say, Vito from Oscaro joining us as a reserve driver, standing in for... I actually made a mental note of this, and that mental note has vanished, so apologies for that.
He's in. Is he in for nobody?
No, nobody's teammate, which is always a weird... so I had it in my head. I was like, I know who he's standing in for, and it's now vanished. But nevertheless, 20 cars. Someone's, of course, a yellow flag in Sector 3. We don't know who it is. We will be doing a hot lap as well. We'll be showing the hot lap footage we have got from CRG Evo on the Xbox side, as commentated by Justin from our Xbox F1 side. We'll be running that when we go to the formation lap. So just bear that in mind, we'll be running that video at that particular point. So we are looking at Garrett. Oh, who's just put a time on the board? That was Chromatic in the McLaren, 131.741, 400ths of a second behind Marek. Nicely done. Oh, Marek's just been usurped by his teammate, 131.573. That's not a bad effort on the medium tyres, has to be said. Quickest of the medium runners at the moment. So, yeah, several different options that our drivers seem to be exploring, but we kind of saw people trying a few different things. But the Ultrasoft, people seem to be ignoring them and getting rid of them pronto.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like I've noticed a couple of drivers have actually used this opportunity to do a little bit of race simulation. A few drivers are running high fuel, Danny being one of them, and Woodford was another one. Woodford is now out again on the Ultrasoft compound tyres. He's only just done his first sector. He's got a 24 per sector, which is pretty good. It's quite a difficult track, this. It wasn't a favourite of mine, and I know a lot of the drivers, it's never been a favourite of theirs either. It's quite a unique circuit in how it's laid out. It is obviously a permanent racetrack, but it has a feeling, there's so many difficult corners where Woodford is at the moment, between turns 12 and 13. You can always get so frustrated because you feel you can go faster and faster, and when you push too much, you just go wide and spin. So it is a very difficult racetrack to get right, and especially turn 1. That's a really tough corner.
Talk about consistency. Alvaro Caraton, 130.151, currently on the board. He just did a 131.152.
Oh, wow.
Very nicely done. Coming over the line to start his time lap is Daniele Haddad, winner of our first race in Australia. Both races of this season so far have been won by Renaults. Daniele Haddad won the opener, and David Teniza won last week out at Bahrain. So, of course, Daniele looking to get on the top spot once again. He was very unfortunate. He had that jump start incident right at the beginning of the race last time out, which really just hindered his race. He still came in at the points just about, so fought on tooth and nail. So Haddad and Teniza doing brilliantly well for the Renault team at this point in time. We are seeing some people come out on the soft tyres as well, or thinking about it at least. Former Danny and Donoso thinking about putting a set of softs on along with Chromatic. Tino is out there. What's he got on the minute? He's got mediums on there at the minute. 131.721 is his best, but he's already on red fuel, so he won't be setting a lap this time, I shouldn't think. And his AORs deployment is down to nothing, so he will definitely not be setting a lap. Matt Sorensen back out on track. He's looking to improve already on that impressive 129.6. So he is on his hot lap with a bit of traffic ahead of him. I think that was Mark and the Haas, who's one of the Ferraris he's coming up to. So that's either Photon, well, it must be Photon because White Lilac has had to drop out of the qualifying session, as previously mentioned. Who was that? Where is he? There he is. Oh, he's actually really pressing on his photon. So, oh, he's on a time lap. That's why. But his ERS is actually down to 0, so he must be getting to the point of starting his time lap. Carrington. Go on.
Yeah, photon is. He's got a couple of litres of fuel that will allow him to do a BIS flying lap, where you use more fuel than you normally would on your flying lap because all the engine modes are turned up to absolute max. That's all the ERS.
They're turned up to 11.
Yeah, exactly. It's all turned up to 11, as Kodiak said. Sorensen, again, he's going to be starting his lap pretty soon. He's going all out on those ultra softs. So you can see a lot of the drivers have decided to opt for medium tyres. We have Danny, who I think is going to qualify on the soft compound tyres by the looks of that. That's what it looks like he's changing to at the moment.
He's going to have to push hard then to beat a 130.8 on the soft, bearing in mind he did that on the ultras, so that's going to be pretty amazing. But here is Matt Sorensen, and he has started his time lap around that never-ending first turn. And it switches through to... That camera's very, very close. I mean, that's what it looks like from over the top of Matt Sorensen's head. Of course, we will be running the hot lap footage, as why I'm not focusing too much on what they can see at this particular point in time. Not many people actually out on track at this time. We kind of had this as well in previous sessions where we had a period of time where the track was very, very quiet. A lot of people wanted to leave it to the very last minute with as much rubber being laid down as possible for them to use. So we only actually have half a dozen cars out on track. Oh, Matt Sorensen getting a little bit wide, coming through the side left-hander onto the short straight now, into the closing section of the track now, around the very long extending radius corner, onto the very long back straight. That is what it looks like from Sorensen's view. No one ahead of him. Everything turned up to full, DRS wide open. Streaming on down, hitting the brakes hard. Oh, he didn't quite get the apex. We heard a bit of a lock up there from the Force India. Does he improve? Carrington does. 129, 115, and Matt Sorensen does actually bring that in. But whilst we were looking at that, Alvaro Carrington 129.1. Wow, he's just put on the board.
It was. I don't want to say it, Cody, but what if we get into the 28s? That blows everything we've seen today. That just blows it all out of the water, very much so. What a lap time there by the Spanish driver. Very solid. We know his pace though from last season in the Ferrari, how often he was able to really capitalise on some of his good qualifying results. If it's the same again today, then he could be a contender for the win.
Oh, I'll say. As we're looking at Chromatic then. Formula Danny is out on track as well in the Mercedes, looking to improve on 130.8. He has, exactly as you called, Hamish, he has actually come out on the soft tyres. Chromatic is on the soft as well, but his best was on the medium, so he's looking to improve on 131.74. I just realised that between 6th and 9th is 400ths of a second. 704, 721, 741, 747. Wow, it is tight in that midfield pack. Where is Danny? There he is. He's, as we mentioned, he's on the soft tyres. Unless he really sandbagged a lot with that 130.8, which, bearing in mind we're just in year 29.1, he's not beyond the realms of possibility. So it looks like Danny is not looking to get a particularly high. He's thinking of the strategy here. He's not thinking get on pole with tyres I don't want. He wants to get as much strategy out there as possible, as we've got a yellow flag out there in Sector 1. Most cars now coming out on track with just under 240 to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I'm not sure what Danny is looking for. I think he definitely won a top 5 for sure, but there's a large gap from first to third, which is pretty unusual, to be honest. We haven't seen this before, so
it's been a while since we've had an extensive gap like that. As Chromatic was up to 4th, but VP Smash in the Sauber has just jumped up to 5th then with the 131.2 with ACR Woodford. And now we're seeing soft runners getting their time in, so we will see what is the case there. I've been told apparently there's a bit of, oh no, I seem to be having some having difficulty with the stream again. That's frustrating because I thought I'd sort that out. I'd actually thought that issue was resolved. That's actually very frustrating because I'm using the settings I thought were working. Damn it. Gonna have to look at, see what I can do. Apologies there, see what I can do.